First refusals, avail checks, and pins. Oh my. Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Cornwell with Get Taped here in Atlanta, Georgia, one of Atlanta's original audition taping services, which I co-own with my amazing wife, Brooke. Swoon. And now on to our topic. First refusals, avail checks, and pins. Oh my. There are a lot of terms that pop up for actors between the callback and the booking. Terms like first refusal or right of first refusal, availability checks or avail checks, pins, and holds. So let's talk about each of these so that we can better understand their implications. Before we go on though, it's worth noting that all of these are good news. In a business of almost zero feedback, all of these terms mean that you have piqued the interest of the producers or the director and that you're down to the final choices. That's a win. Let's start by talking about first refusals, avail checks, and pins. And be sure to stick around to the end where I will talk about holds, which have a very different implication. In short, the terms first refusal, avail check, and pin mean about the same thing. Essentially, casting really likes you, but there may be someone else in the mix, or the schedule hasn't been set yet, or there might be other factors hidden from view. Whatever the case, they're not quite ready to give you a contractually binding deal memo. But they need you to know they're interested, and as a courtesy, they would like you to hold the dates for them. Now let me emphasize that. As a courtesy. You are not under a contract yet, which means that if they decide to go a different way, they owe you nothing. Yeah, they can ghost you. It's happened to me quite a few times. What they're asking for is if, say, you get another offer that conflicts with the shoot window, that you come back to them, tell them about that conflict, and ask if they're ready to make an offer. In addition, as a courtesy, you shouldn't be changing your look in any appreciable way between now and that projected shoot window. So don't shave your beard, don't cut your hair substantially, because that may end up being a deal breaker for the job. So unless you're actively trying to sabotage yourself, hold off on any major changes to your look. Now let me share some anecdotal evidence of when these different phrases pop up most often. First refusal, or the right of first refusal, at least here in the southeastern market, is used almost exclusively in the commercial world. For me, about an hour after the callback session, I'll get an email from my agent saying, the client would like to place you on first refusal. And then about an hour after that, I get the follow-up email. You are released from first refusal. It can be a little torturous, especially when it happens all the time. Availability checks or avail checks are happening more and more even before casting has presented you to producers or the director. You see, increasingly actors are pretending to be locals to different markets. They might live in LA but pretend to be a local to Atlanta or vice versa. And casting, being very savvy to this, needs to cover their bases. So they might double check or triple check your availability. And it's weird because, again, here in the Southeast, it used to be that an avail check was almost equivalent to a pin, which we'll talk about in a second. It would happen very late in the casting process after you've already been submitted to producers or the director, you've been narrowed down to a couple choices, and then casting would come back with an avail check. The term has tended to lose some weight since 2020 happened, but it is still a great sign that casting is interested in you and wants to know your availability before they move forward presenting you to producers. Just temper your expectations when it comes to avail checks. When you are pinned for a role, in my experience, that is a great sign because you are probably casting's top choice for the role. Now, if you're in the Southeast, you are local casting's top choice, and they are likely working with the LA casting director who may have one of their own top choices. So it's not a guarantee just yet. And also you have other things that might be in the mix like fluctuating shoot dates or other factors that you just can't know about. But I will say that my relationship to pins is the polar opposite of first refusals. Almost 100% of the time, when I am pinned for a TV or film role, I end up booking it. On the other hand, almost 100% of the time, when I'm on first refusal for a commercial, I almost never book it. Womp womp. Incidentally, some actors have the exact opposite experience. Holds. All the terms up to this point, availability check, first refusal, pins, are a way for casting to let you know that they're interested in you, and as a courtesy, please hold the following dates. Now, if production, as opposed to casting, wants to actually hold you, that means something completely different. Cha-ching! Money. Yep. If production wants to hold you for whatever reason, they have to pay for that. There are a myriad of reasons why they might want to hold you, but whatever the reason, just understand that if they use this very specific term, money and a contract will be involved. Just be clear about whether the language is casting would like you to hold the dates such and such versus production would like to hold you for the dates such and such. The language is very close and only varies slightly, but has completely different ramifications. When in doubt, just ask your representation. So what's your relationship to pins for TV and film and first refusal for commercials? Does one always end up as a booking and the other not so much? Drop a comment below to share your anecdotes. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on set.